for all the people that still doubt whether or not Jared can win a Super Bowl, to me, I think those people should feel much better after watching Sunday's game. Because if you look back at the NFC Championship run, you lost because of you gave up 27 in the second half. And Jared Goff in that playoff stretch, by the way, who people bring up the Washington Commanders game, which I understand, okay, the turnovers. And, before that NFC Championship run in LA had turnovers, whatever. He actually played really well in that playoff run. And it seemed like that was kind of, to me, at least at the time, like the match made for the Lions to make the Super Bowl. But I think walking away from what I saw Sunday, I'm going, man, like Jared Goff, not only does he take care of the football really well, even this year with the offensive line and the play caller change, but like people should feel a lot better of that conversation. Like there's very well people out there that still believe he's just not good enough. Oh, I want a guy who can move and run. I mean, Drake May ran for like 70 yards. It didn't really matter because he was getting pressured and he was turning the ball over. But I think one of the bigger things I took away was the defense. But on top of that, the quarterback play from Sam Darnold taking care of it. I think Jared Goff's very capable, and I think people should, stop trying to. I think he's the easy target because he's the most important position in football. But in reality, there's bigger fish to fry. And I think you guys nailed it by mentioning the defense and the offensive line. But people should feel a lot better about Goff after Sunday, in my opinion.
When the Lions traded for Goff, you watch the individual games, the primetime games, obviously maybe the most electric regular season game of all time, that Monday Night Football game with the Chiefs. So you have a sense of the player, but, I wanted to really understand Goff. And so I, did what I do and watched the film and kind of, got a feel for his strengths and weaknesses. And I remember leaving that going, I think Pro Football Focus calls them turnover-worthy plays, throws that aren't necessarily interceptions, but are to the defense that should have been intercepted. And Goff had a propensity for at least one terrible, indescribable, like, why would you even do that throw a game? And it was just kind of part of his profile. He did a lot of things really well, but he had that one just boneheaded mistake. And he's pretty much wiped that off of his kind of resume since he's been with the Lions. That, part of that's just the nature of experience, right? Like you've seen so many more defensive reps, what teams are doing to try to attack you. You're seeing the guys in the windows better. You're not seeing ghost, if you will. And is he perfect? Does he make mistakes? Of course he makes mistakes, but like those big boneheaded errors are so few and far between now. I had this opinion with Matthew Stafford, and I have it with Jared Goff. They are capable of winning you a Super Bowl. Do they need other things around you? Yeah, every quarterback needs other things around them. And maybe pocket passers need a little bit more around them, given they don't have that dual threat ability to kind of bail them out on those 3rd and 8 scrambles or whatever. We saw when Goff has a running game, clearly they have more than enough offensive weapons. This offense can put up 30 points a week, no problem. And so you give Jared Goff a defense like Seattle's or like New England's. Yeah, that's a guy that can win you a Super Bowl. It's really cut and dry for me.
Yeah, I would say Goff has shifted from like the one turnover where they play a game to like now he has like one game a season where he just kind of turns the ball over a lot in bunches. Minnesota this year, was it Houston, and I guess the Commanders game the year before.
Always nationally televised.
It's always nationally televised. That's what I told you. It's crazy. And that, like, it's funny. Every time that happens, it's like clockwork. I'm writing a story about how Jared's playing really well and how he could be in the MVP discussion.
MVP conversation.
Literally. And then he turns the ball over 5 times. Everyone's like, oh, Jared Goff sucks. Like, everyone on Twitter, I'm like, he doesn't, guys. I swear he doesn't. That's what it is. So maybe I'm the jinx. I don't know. But yeah, man, Jared's really cut down on turnovers. And like, if I agree with you, Jeff, like if you're watching that game, the takeaway should be like, if we improve our defense, then like we can absolutely be right here. I appreciate these last 2 Super Bowls in particular because, you know, Jalen Hurts can run, but he's not an alien, right? Like right. Sam Darnold's not an alien. You don't, even like 5 years ago, the narrative used to be, oh, you need a Mahomes, a Lamar, a Josh Allen to win a Super, like one of those guys to win a Super Bowl. That the last 2 Super Bowls have proved that's not the case. You just need a high level guy that can take care of the football, make plays when asked, and then, you know, it's a team sport. Like for so long, I guess Mahomes' run dominance and Brady and the Patriots and whatnot, like makes you think that, oh, the quarterbacks win you championships. Obviously, quarterbacks have a lot to do with that. You need a dude there. But like, if you have enough, and Jared is a very capable starter in this league, he can play at a high level. He was like second in touchdown passes this year, even with all the supporting cast issues with the offensive line. I thought he actually played pretty well, all things considered. So if you give him some help with defense, this offense, you fix the offensive line, like, there's no doubt in my mind they can be here next year. It's just a matter of the routes that you go to make that happen. And easier said than done when you got some decisions to make, and you're paying your dudes and trying to balance that whole future versus present conversation. But in terms of what he gives you at quarterback, you can absolutely win a quarterback. You can absolutely win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. I believe that. I believed it a couple years ago. I still believe it now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll take a break. When we get back, we'll talk about the Max Crosby stuff, and we'll dive into the rest of the topics. But first, I got to tell you about our friends over at Sleeper. We'll see you guys in 30 seconds.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sport. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using the code HMA. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
Shout out to our friends over at Sleeper for sponsoring Lions Collective, the best fantasy app out there. Sleeper picks we talk about often, but now they have Sleeper team picks, and you can choose and ride with your favorite team, whatever fan of whatever team you are. For example, I went with the Detroit Pistons to come out of the East this year. Very simple bet. You can tail. Yeah, I said it. You can tail your team and ride along with it. So shout out to Sleeper for the new addition there. They're continuing to take care of their customers. And if you want, you can use the code HMA, get a $100 deposit matched up to $100. Check out, like I said, Sleeper Fantasy, Sleeper Picks, Sleeper Team Picks. They got it all. Shout out to our friends over at Sleeper for sponsoring the show. You know what, guys? We got to talk about it because Max Crosby, I don't know if you guys heard, he's coming to Detroit. Just letting you guys know. So get the jerseys printed. I'm just telling you right now, get the jerseys printed. It's this is the annual. It's like the NFL calendar. Super Bowl. It's like, you got preseason, season, postseason, Super Bowl, Max Crosby, and then I'm sure Myles Garrett will come in about 2 months. So we got Myles Garrett in about a couple months. So right now it's Max Crosby time. They fire a new regime, or at least the head coach, Max Crosby. He's floating. He got Radio Row, which I think that has to do with it as well. Around Radio Row, everyone starts talking about Max Crosby. He was at Clint Kubiak's press conference. I mean, seems to be supportive of the head coach that they hired. People are like, well, he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. I've already spoken about this. Like, rebuilds in the NFL, unless you're a garbage franchise, like look at the Bears. You can, if you have the right people in charge and you have the right head coach, you can turn around things pretty quickly, because that's just how it works. That's why the NFL has worst to first. That's why it's the best sport.